give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV and the iRaid Furniture Mart Super Series. Here tonight, it's the Diamondback Travel Services 100 and opening night of Season 4 in these super late models. Going to be an entertaining race, there's no doubt about that. Baron, we look in tonight from Phoenix Raceway, where these super late models have this very unique challenge for them here. It should be a good one.
Yeah, it sure should be, Dean. And Phoenix is a great track, really conducive to some side-by-side racing here. These super late models are going to have a great time around this track. Great to be back for another season here at Wind Tunnel TV and the Furniture Racing Series, Furniture Mart Racing Series. I'm having a mouth problem tonight, apparently. And good to see some new faces on the lineup tonight, Dean.
Definitely. Nice big field out here, some new faces, lots of interest and intrigue here, no doubt about it. Phoenix International Raceway, a little bigger track than they're used to, a full mile here, should produce some really entertaining racing. Our keys to the race, especially early in the season, control. Got to be under control. You got to finish here tonight to stay in the championship hunt. You can't win it tonight, but you might be able to lose it. So you got pitting and strategy, always something we talk about. Baron, I mean, the races are a little shorter this year. We're doing a little extra qualifying here. Looks like we may have missed their open qualify, and that's a little unfortunate. I feel bad about that, as guys wound it up pretty quick. But open qualifying, one car at a time out here. And now we get into these shorter races. Strategy going to be switched up a little bit.
Yeah, strategy is going to be a player in these races. You will see, like we saw in the last season and previous seasons, some of these guys are real good at breaking these races in half. With the shorter race lengths now, you're going to see some guys really rolling the dice, I think, early in the races to get the pit stop, take advantage of their tires, and see if that can't get them to the front in a timely way. We know a lot of guys are going to try to go wire to wire with this, so we'll see if pit strategy and gas strategy plays a role as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the tires, who's going to take them and win. You look at some of these drivers, that's where some of this intrigue is going to come from, Baron. You got Alonzo King Jr., brand new out here, Shannon back out here, Jeff Taylor, David Claman, Ryman Castle out here, Wade Burris. So some new names, and as we get set and ready to go racing here, looks like they're all getting lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, some new names. Also, we're monitoring the chat room here. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, shout us out. Tell us where you're from, who your favorite driver is. I'm looking at Alonzo King. He's watching the broadcast. So is David Clayman. Both of them watching the broadcast before they go racing. So welcome to Wind Tunnel TV, everyone, and we're happy to have you. Let's take a look at the lineup.
Absolutely. Tonight's starting order, and that's going to be brought to you by K-T.org. This is your qualifying winner, Brian Cole, on the pole with a time of 27.983. It's Austin Miller, Mr. Excitement, on the outside of row number 1. Walker Cole, we've seen him lead a lot in the last race, a championship race. He'll start third. Alonzo King Jr. makes his debut in fourth. Colin J. Kennedy starts on the inside of row number 3 with Chris Shannon on the outside. It's Adam Cole and Marvin Termeyer in row 4. Jeff Taylor, David Claman in row 5. You got Castle, Lester, Burris, Magoo, Hanna, Pearson, Purnell, Roel, Hines, Perry, and Dubuque to round out the field.
Yeah, so some new faces, some older faces. Missing last season's champion, Tanner Berge, not in the lineup tonight. but we are going racing with a series of Coles. We got Brian, Walker, and
and they're piled up early on here. We've got a tragedy on the track. Termeyer involved. The one of Castle's involved. And early carnage. Baron, we did not make it to the start of this race.
Well, never text and drive, Dean. We want to make sure that we get these things off in a green manner, and a pile up before we go green is not exactly what Termeyer had in mind for tonight's opening race.
No, been there, done it, run league, and then seen something to this effect. Definitely not what he had in mind. They'll get it sorted out here. Hopefully they get everybody back to their proper spots and back on the track. As you see Colin J. Kennedy in the pits, and he can't be happy.
No, and I'm sure Marvin's going to give these guys an opportunity to get their damage fixed and get them squared away. Shout out to NC Bullfrog. He's a Cole fan. He hasn't picked a Cole. He picks all the Coles.
Oh, he gets all the Coles. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's like stacking your own deck. Mason, how you doing today, buddy? The Colin Kennedy fan. So we got some folks in the chat shouting out their drivers, and we'll get this thing under green soon.
Yeah, he's pulling off. Colin's still on the pits. Brian Cole leads him down with Miller on the outside. Here we go. We're green flag racing here in the Diamondback Travel Services 100.
Phoenix is going to give us a lot of side-by-side racing. These guys have got a great opportunity to pass on the high line like they can at a lot of other shorter tracks that make it harder to pass on the high line. But now here at Phoenix, Dean, they're going to be able to do that tonight.
See already Miller rocking the high side has gotten by Brian Cole. It's Alonzo King Jr. trying to make a move on the high side as well, and he's got Walker underneath him. So the Cole's on the bottom, others taking to the high side, making it work, Baron.
Yeah, and we've seen this happen before. Austin gets out to an early lead. Hard to pass. Austin's a former five-time winner last season. Does a great job with his vehicle, both on the short and the long run. We've noticed in previous seasons how he's managed to find the braking points just in the right place to help that car rotate as best he can. But seeing some pressure now from that 80 machine of Alonzo King. So let's see what Austin does as he gets forward. As lap number 4 coming up.
Lap 4, Miller, King, Brian Cole, Walker Cole, Chris Shannon in 5th. Our anomaly makes an appearance on the screen again, Barrett. We got Adam Cole back in 6th, Marvin Termeyer 7th, Jeff Taylor in 8th, Clement and Lester rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, so that little anomaly we see in the right-hand portion of the screen, a little bit like herpes, keeps coming back, and we're doing our best to get rid of it, but viral counts are high, so we've got that back here again.
Go away tonight, Baron.
Thought we had it fixed in the last season, but nope. We are back to our OG form.
You gotta like it.
So here we go. Some new faces. Wade Burris in that 98 machine finds him up 3 spots here. Moves himself to 11th place, knocking on the door of the top 10. Wade, a newcomer to the season, to the league this season, and showing some promise right now. But he's being chased by Mark Hanna and Austin Purnell. Purnell, a veteran of this league, and shows himself last season. Had some nice flashes, had some good runs, but Mark Hanna sandwiched in between them. And Mark typically runs the big cars, Dean. We've seen him in trucks and Xfinity series. So now Mark's down working with
and there's a wreck right in front of him. That's Stephen M. He's gone around.
And we're under caution.
That will bring out the caution.
So the broadcaster jinx happens again, right? We're talking about Mark, and there he is.
Let's see if we can get a look and see what happened here. The Stephen M, the 32, the white car up high is the 98. 98 comes down, gets a little piece, and roughs him up, drives through him. Around he goes. The 45 takes some of that action as well.
Yeah, so He touched him, and then he touched him in a bad way.
Yeah, that's a prosecutable offense right there, Baron.
I believe in 48 states. Yep.
All right, pit road is open. Let's see if we get some takers here. Looks like Marvin's going to come down. He's going to lead a group. Actually, Alonzo King first on pit road here. So early pit stops. Termeyer, Clammin, Lester, Burris, Hanna, Royal, Stephen M., Pearson, all on pit road. And Colin Kennedy looks like he did make the start. So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, and Colin knows how well the first race of the season can affect the last race of the season. So he's gathering up all the points he can.
Pit stops go on. We take another shot at this anomaly here, Baron.
Well, I love it when you say anomaly, Dean. So we'll keep working on that. Pit stop cycling through some comers and goers there. Austin Miller holds the lead along with Brian Cole and Walker Cole. Chris Shannon remains in the 4th position. 5th place goes to Adam Cole. And then Jeff Taylor, newcomer to the league, being chased by Austin Purnell in the 7th spot. Ryman Castle, a name we haven't mentioned yet, in 8th. And Barry Hines, a veteran of the league here, in 9th place. 10th place goes to Colin Kennedy. So we got some Kennedy fans in the chat room right now. Phoenix not disappointing right now, side-by-side racing and an early caution.
Yeah, it's been fairly entertaining racing up front here. Miller with the lead and Cole's right behind him. We've seen last year, a little recap on that finish last season, Baron. That was highly intriguing. You had the Cole and Cole battle. You had Adam Newton out here trying to steal a championship. And, now that I think about it, Mr. Newton, not in the field tonight.
Didn't make the start. Hope he's not having a hangover from that 2nd place. Missed the championship by 6 points. So every point matters. And if you're going to get into a league as competitive as this, you got to make sure every lap counts.
Yeah, it's a shame he's not here. I hope everything's all right with Adam. We know he has his little fights out there, and I just hope he's doing well. But the Cole on Cole battle, that was highly intriguing. Father versus son, the old vet versus the young spry one with the speed, and went just about as you would play it out in your mind, not as Walker would have liked to have played it out.
No, it was big on Little Crime. Brian let the young buck out front, and then he just systematically went by him and then set sail. So that final race of the season, if you missed it, go back on Wind Tunnel TV here on YouTube and check out a great father-son battle.
Yeah, it was quite amazing. And we look for more amazing races this season. Right now, Miller, Cole, Shannon, who's back in here, Walker Cole, Adam Cole, Jeff Taylor, Purnell, Castle, Hines, and Kennedy getting ready to get this thing going green again. Pace car down and off, green flags out. Miller from the high side out like a rocket.
Great start by that 42 car of Austin Miller. He's leaving anybody else to fight for 2nd place at the moment, but looks like we've got a taker right there. Chris Shannon, hell of a run through that first turn and right to the back bumper of that 42.
Yeah, Shannon looking racy here tonight. We've seen he can do this kind of thing. High quality racer, no doubt about that. Held off right now from that high side, and Walker Cole, or Adam Austin Miller. I'll get it right, Baron.
Yeah, but you weren't far off. Walker Cole right in his tracks. Brian Cole in 4th place with Adam right behind him. So a lot of Coles up there in the top 5, Dean.
Yeah, hard to keep all the Coles under the fire at the same time here. You got Jeff Taylor sitting here in 6th position behind all these Coles, and you can see that K-T.org bumper right in front of him of Adam Cole.
Yep, still love that purple and green paint scheme. Adam's run that since the inception. Great sponsor, great charity right there. If you're interested in a very a cool charity. Go and visit k-t.org and take a look at what they're doing. Some really interesting things out there.
Aaron, and we've had an incident out on the track. Let's go look at this, get a little replay here. David Clamman here, along with Wade Burris, riding around towards the back here. You got to think they got some fresh rubber. Come in, the 98. Oh, and there was something in front of them too.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was up on the wall.
Yeah, someone high up on the wall on your screen. And the two of them, that was Mark Hanna as well, getting a little piece of the wall. I think he was distracted by that. But back to live action. There's some carnage out there. No caution for that event.
Well, looks like we got some damaged vehicles out there now. So
Caution out on the track now as Marvin Termeyer has had an incident.
And Marvin, our league administrator, so we typically look out for Marvin as he's behind the wheel of that 16 machine, now playing a dual role, admin and driver. So he's got his hands full there.
Marvin riding around here, and this looks like pretty much a self-involved incident. He gets down below that yellow line, Baron.
And you know what we always say here at Wind Tunnel TV, it's a game of inches, right, Dean?
It's a game of inches, indeed it is. I like to think I'm always on the winning end of that one, Baron. I don't know.
You know, we can ask, everybody else's wife or girlfriend. We'll see what they say.
Remember, I use metric.
That's right. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.
So with this caution out here, doesn't look like takers. Yes, Colin Kennedy coming down, and he's leading a group. It's Kennedy, Hannah's in, Perry's in, Stephen M., Pearson, Clanman, all on pit road.
So second round of pit stops here. Looks like guys are getting their stops in early and getting their tires, and this will be it for them. They're going to go to the end of the show here, unless something unfortunate happens. I think we've seen what we're going to see from pit stops right now. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so as we reload some of these textures. Still trying to deal with that anomaly, folks. I'm very sorry. A little something we can't seem to get rid of. But nonetheless, the pit stops, I think with the cautions come out, you're always going to have takers, Baron. I mean, if you're back towards the back, why not, right?
No, I agree. Tires are fresh tires are better than old tires, and that's just common sense speaking right there. But lap 18 of 100, I got to feel like some of these guys are taking those tires and that fuel to make it to the end.
So Diamondback Travel Services 100 here in progress, approaching lap 20 here, and it's been a couple of cautions now. Interesting. Because, after a couple of these come out like this, Baron, do you get itchy? Do you get that sense of need to get things done quicker and quicker?
Well, Dean, I got to believe that some of these guys still don't know exactly what they got underneath them. So, as the tires heat up and the run goes on, drivers get a better feel of what their car feels like under, cold pressures and then hot pressures. We've had such a series of early cautions that I can't believe that anybody's got a real feel for how their car is going to be in 10 and 20 laps. So I still think there's some discovery going on out there, Dean.
Indeed, there's definitely discovery going on. I think you could tell right out of the gate that Miller was prepared for the high side, but perhaps Walker and Brian Cole were not.
Yeah, and Chris Shannon, being a bottom feeder, he caught right up to Austin. So Shannon saying, look, you can test all you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and run the low line. So,
hang on, we're not going green.
Yeah, still some discovery going on. Still some guys trying some different lines. I think it's interesting that some of the rookies have found their way to the front, and they're all running the bottom. So maybe there's some different things happening out there that we haven't seen completely yet, Dean.
see Jeff Taylor up there in that 23 machine, and he's moved up 3 or 4 spots. Purnell, we've seen him. He's moved up 9. Barry Hines, new paint job this year, new number as well, as Barry Hines is up 10 spots on this evening. Alan Royal up 7.
Yep, good, consistent veterans right there, mixed in with a bunch of newcomers. Interesting racing there in the back of the pack, but up front, some familiar faces as they lead this thing to green.
You see them all lined up, and you hear someone racing around the track to catch up. That's Ryman Castle coming back to join the pack here. 20-car field here at Phoenix Raceway. This is the old configuration from 2008, so interesting track for sure.
Yeah, missing that big, wide open, sweeping dog leg, and these guys are really kind of fighting that yellow line fever, if you will. So some of these guys are testing their lines out.
Pace car off the track. Miller and Shannon to do battle here. Miller from the inside this time. And again, a great start. Walker Cole trying to fit in on the bottom underneath Shannon. And we're back under yellow real quick like.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not sure what the yellow was for, Baron, but I guess they assumed it was necessary. It doesn't look like anything happened out there. Just perhaps a admin yellow.
That's okay. That gives us an opportunity to talk to one of the drivers. How'd you like to bring up some of the veterans?
Absolutely.
Dean, I'm sitting here with Adam Cole, driver of the 83k-t.org machine. Adam, welcome back to another season, my friend. You got your ears on?
Hey, yes, sir. Thank you. Glad to be back with you all again and starting another season with Marvin and the guys and having fun so far here at Phoenix.
Adam, finding yourself in the top 5 right now. Got some new names out there racing around with you. What's your opinion of the league, or what's your opinion of the new drivers and Phoenix Raceway?
Yeah, it looks like we got some new guys that definitely have some skill that'll be somebody to contend with all season. The 80 and the 23 are both strong, and of course some of the familiar cars here towards the front, Austin up front. So I think it's going to really add to what the league has to offer.
Last year, Adam, solid finishes all year long. We kind of talked a little bit at the end of the season about what your thoughts were for the upcoming season. You're out here now, you're racing. What's the strategy for the next few weeks as we move through the season?
Just need to get off to a better start and get more consistency. Top 5s is what really pays off as far as, that's where you put yourself in position to win and get some points for the end of the season. And did a bad job of that till late last year. So this is kind of where I want to be. The larger tracks usually aren't my cup of tea, but top 5 is where I want to be, and hopefully I can stay here tonight.
Well, we're happy to have you back, Adam. I know YouTube has got some fans of yours chatting it up in the room. So good luck, my friend, and let's see if we can bring home tonight. All right?
Thank you, sir.
Make them Coles proud.
So speaking of Coles, he's the third in the line of Walker and Bryan, and third and fourth place, Austin Miller, Chris Shannon on the front row. And the pace car's got the field re-racked. I think we're getting ready to go green. What do you think, Dean?
I think that Cole battle is as tough as it is for a race battle. You're third or last, but you're 5th in the race. That's tough right there.
Gonna make Thanksgiving dinner a whole lot more interesting as this season moves on.
It certainly will. Miller and Shannon. Walker Cole, Brian Cole, father and son in row 2. It's Adam Cole and Jeff Taylor in row 3. We're about ready to go green flag racing. Miller leading them down, a big jump. Good job by him. Shannon on the outside, challenged again. by the two Coles. Walker down low, looking to get that spot, but Shannon really rolling that middle and high side.
He is, and Shannon's got that car firmly back on the back bumper of that 42. And outside of Walker, Brian Cole making the high line work. So we've seen this before, and it looks like both lines working for all these drivers right now.
Yeah, the father-son battle heating up here. Brian not waiting this time. He's gone to the high side, and he's trying to take Walker on early here. Ooh, a little back out, a little too much from Walker. Brian, a little too much too early. You're both kind of jostling, and they end up side by side.
Yeah, that was a full send right there by Walker, and I think he immediately checked up and got to the brake so he wouldn't take his father out there. But we see a lot of this going on around the track. Right behind him, Adam under pressure there from Alonzo King. Alonzo making his way to the front, and Barry Hines up 12 spots, holding his spot there in that brand new paint scheme in that 8 car. So Barry, a veteran of this league, changed his number. He used to be the 11, and now he's in the 8 in a purple and white car. Good looking car there, Dean.
Yeah, sharp looking. White always looking nice out here, like the purple too. Purnell doing nice. Hines up 12, Purnell up 9 spots. These guys are on the move here this evening. Up front, Miller opening up a little bit on Chris Shannon. Brian Cole now working past Walker. I thought Walker just got him 2 laps ago, but no. A little further back, you got Kennedy at the tail end of this group with Royal and Taylor right in front of him. Up in front of him, Purnell making moves again as he darts underneath Adam Cole.
Yeah, and he's followed closely by Fred Lester, and Fred back again for his second season. So Fred looking to see what happens as Austin and Adam duke it out here. And Fred being followed by Fred Taylor in the 10th spot. So a lot of new faces up here and a lot of veterans all mixing it up.
Yeah, Jeff Taylor there following Fred. I thought we had 2 Freds for a minute there, Baron.
Did I Fred Taylor this thing up?
You fretted it up a little bit. Alan Roel back here fighting Kennedy. And Kennedy, you know, Kennedy's always got the support here, and we root for him a lot, Baron. This 3 machine, a bit of an anomaly to try and figure out. Ooh, and we see the 23 of Jeff Taylor get a little loose there. But the 3 of Kennedy, you know, he's always got speed. And with him, it's a lot about track position and just timing of things. We've seen him get a win last year, and here he's looking pretty racy again, but he's got poor track position for him back in 12th.
Yeah, patience is going to have to be the name of the game if you're in the 3 car now. So he's got some work to do, and he's got good speed. So let that speed work for you as this field comes back to him, and keep those fenders on it. No fault of his own getting in that incident early there, but he's got some ground to make up. Still a lot of laps, but he can do it.
Austin Miller, your leader. Now, Baron, when we think about a place like Phoenix, this isn't normal short track super late model racing. This is a little bigger here. Will tire wear be more of a concern here? More of like your traditional truck or Xfinity or ARCA car or something? Is this something where we're going to see some comers and goers here?
Absolutely. So, Dean, very good point. The booth is strong tonight with Dean. So what we're looking at here is higher speeds. These cars have a lot more downforce than the previous cars you've mentioned. They're a lot more stable in their hands as far as the wheel is concerned. So drivers will have a tendency to feel really comfortable in those early laps and really scuff the meat off of those tires. So you will see some drivers, the smart ones will manage their tires by not overdriving and not charging those corners. And you will see some drivers who are getting every single tenth out of those tires, charge every corner and lay it out as they exit these turns. Don't expect those guys to remain at the front too long, as though tire wear brings them to the back of the field.
We just kind of looked in on Walker Cole. We go to Papa Bear here, Brian Cole. And, there's some slight differences that we notice here, and really not about what you'd expect. The young guy seems to be driving a little harder, a little more with the wheel. We're seeing a little more smoothness here out of the vet in Brian.
Yeah, and we know Brian can manage tires. So for those of you just tuning in, Brian Cole the senior of the Coles has multiple wins under his belt, and he has got himself week in and week out in the top 5, and we see this because he's managed his car a little bit better than some of the other fellas. So you'll see early speed from some guys, but Brian Cole always manages the long run better than most.
Well, Walker's sticking right with him, and both of them have got right back up to Miller and Shannon. So a 4-way battle for the lead here about to commence. Behind them, you got Alonzo King Jr. and Barry Hines. Then it's Adam Cole and Austin Purnell. Purnell still up. Well, Hines up 13, 14 spots. As Shannon, we got a problem with Shannon. Shannon into the wall. Something is off with the 32 machine.
Yeah, it looks like he got into the wall on his own up there, Dean, and just took the right side against it. So let's see if too much damage to that 32.
Yellow flag is out.
When the yellow comes out, Roel, as we're going to go from one replay to the next, I guess. The black car up in front of the 10 here. You see him on entry there, catches the rear end there. That gets him out of kilter. He rides up on the wall, and bam, that's a problem for him. We got another problem out on the track, though. Roel, something has happened with him and Colin J. Kennedy. Let's get a look in on it. So the 94 here, he's battling hard. He's got the 33 right there. Oh, and a little loose, and the 33 gets loose as well, comes down, tags him, and Kennedy right there to be collected.
Yeah, nowhere to go in that one. Two guys a little loose, got to each other, and away we go. Chris Shannon, a victim of his own circumstance there. There's nothing more frustrating as a driver to know you did that to yourself, and now you've got to unravel what you've raveled up here. So pit stops happening, Dean. Some damage being fixed, some tires being taken. Just about everybody's on pit road now.
Yeah, it looks like Hines stays out, Termeyer stays out, Castle, Hanna, Stephen M., Wade Burris, and David Klanman all stay out. They're going to get the track position. The fresh rubber will be going to Miller and the Coles, King, Shannon, Taylor, and Lester, and others all getting that fresh rubber. This is going to get highly entertaining.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is drivers saying, look, I prefer the new rubber on my cars. So we ran a few laps. We had a cycle. Some of these guys are not happy with the way this thing's feeling in their hands. So I'm sure these guys are taking tires right now and hopefully, getting a better feel out of this vehicle. So again, we talked about it, a little bit of discovery going on. I think what we've learned is fresh tires here are going to matter.
Well, I got to tell you, Brian Cole sat there a long time. We try and look in on his time, 22.8 on pit road. Other guys, anywhere from 10 to 19 seconds. So not sure what Brian Cole, maybe some damage or just getting that full fuel load. I'm not sure, Baron. And, when you talk about getting a full fuel load here, it's, not that he needs to fuel to get it to finish the race, I don't think. But maybe more so to try and keep that car turning. Yeah,
and we know that these cars take in every little adjustment and variable into account when they're wheeling these things around the track. For those of you new to iRacing, a full fuel load will absolutely make this car turn in a different way on the early laps. As fuel burns off, weight transfers to the front of that car, and now it gets to a tighter position. So Brian Cole may have an opportunity here to test that theory out by taking on a full load of fuel. But he's got himself mired in the back, and the pace car is off. Barry Hines and Marvin Termeyer lead him down to green, and we're off side by side. Barry Hines gets a hell of a jump there with Marvin Termeyer. Ryan Castle right underneath him, and side-by-side racing all the way back. Dean, it's cool stuff to see.
It is. Hines out to an ace lead with Termeyer and Castle. Hanna slides in comfortably, but behind we got Burris. You got King. Oh, and it's a 98 of Wade Burris up into the wall. Burris in big trouble. No caution on the track. He'll have to go to the back. Burris effectively done, heads down pit road. What a disaster for those fresh tires. Alonzo King, though, on fresh rubber, I do believe, starting to pick through this field already.
Yeah, and he's on the back bumper of Stephen M. And Stephen says, "Go ahead, son. You got the fresh rubber. I'm going to go ahead and move up here and let you go on by."
What a disaster for Burris. My goodness. Oh, the 17 Walker almost into him there. Crazy stuff. That was David Clanman there. And Clanman into Stephen M. Or vice versa. I'm not sure. They're around.
And now we got another caution, Dean. Lap 43 of 100.
Lap 43. Interesting development. Let's see what happened here on this replay. You see here how close Clanman was racing. Walker almost into him. Clanman again riding close to Stephen M. Walker trying to extend out. They go 3 wide. He just drives straight into him. There's no room to do that, and someone had to give. Nobody did, and it's over.
Yeah, so a little bit of racecraft need to be practiced there. No real reason to go 3 wide headed into that turn with the 01 underneath completing a pass. So
that's just frustration, Baron. This is a guy getting passed who didn't want to be passed and not willing to relinquish, once they're 3 wide. A tough situation. It comes up on you fast. The likes of Walker Cole on new tires. Perhaps he just wasn't ready for that.
Yep. First race of the season.
First race, we'll learn and move on to the next one, and hopefully he gets some repair. Clanman gonna head in here along with a few others. They're gonna take on to pit road. Colin Kennedy once again leads this group in, so Kennedy continuing to get work done here, and he'll have the fresher rubber at least.
Well, and probably fixing some damage while we're at it. As we close in on halfway, these guys all get a fast repair, so Colin may be ready to hit that button and get himself a new car.
Now, Darren, what we think, or Baron, sorry, we think about this Diamondback 100 here. I was trying to think of the Diamondback. You say a snake, or is that a diamond on the back? I'm not sure.
No, and it, when I was a kid, it used to be a hell of a BMX bike too. So
there you go. I like the reference there.
Yep. We all wanted those Diamondback with the red tires. Remember that?
Well, what about one of those banana seats?
Ooh, that's even better.
Those high handlebars.
I'm wondering if anybody in the chat room here at YouTube TV has an experience with a banana seat or a Diamondback BMX. So some of the old timers, go ahead and.
Yeah, welcome to Two Old Man Talk.
Yep.
So we got Hines leading this thing up 18 spots. Barry Hines, new paint job, new season, out front. I like it.
I love it. And Barry said that he was going to find a way this season to get one of those checkered flags. So looks like Barry's got himself in the best position possible, right out front.
Absolutely great position, and in position number 2, none other than Marvin Turmeyer Jr. We root for him a lot, Baron, and either he's busy doing admin stuff or giving himself penalties just to be very overly courteous. Here he is. Opportunity knocks one more time.
And Marvin, we argue with Marvin all the time. Like, go out there and get one of these, and Marvin said, "No, I got stuff to do." Marvin's in a prime position with half the race left to go. Let's see what he can turn it into.
All right, quick start here by Hines. He jumps out on Turmeyer. Castle slips into third. Behind them, big battles. Hannah trying to hold off Alonzo King Jr. Here comes Mr. Excitement. Austin Miller almost into Hannah. Had to pull her down the track. He's got coal all over him. He's got a couple of coals all over him.
Right, so Austin Miller thought twice about it, got himself underneath the 45 and almost took everybody out, but he's got it worked out now, and he's got the position he's going to sail on.
Yeah, Austin Miller making a move towards the front here, the 42, looking racy. Alonzo King in front of him has the same rubber, I think. I'm not sure on that, but Miller's got the speed. You see the runs he's getting, running a little off the bottom here, and he's looking for the high line right now.
Yeah, and we've seen Austin do this before, so he's got that right rear hung out again, Dean, and on these bigger tracks, I think that's paying off for him.
Yeah, well, we know how he can roll the center, and a place like Phoenix, at least in the bigger vehicles, that's exactly what you got to do.
Absolutely. And look, it's not like, these fresh tires aren't on other cars too. Just Austin taking full advantage of them at the moment.
Adam Cole underneath Brian Cole, or Brian Cole's made it to the outside of him, so the three Coles are running 7th, 8th, and 9th, battling out for their family pride. They got Mark Hanna right in front of them, the beekeeper himself, doing an awesome job.
Yep, and we got the 45 of Mark Hanna right there. And like I said, Mark used to running these bigger cars, more horsepower, doing a great job tonight. Got himself in 6th place. So, but he's got pressure from the 10 car coming. So we'll see what Mark can do about it.
Speaking of pressure, Alonzo King putting the pressure on the one of Ryman Castle here. Castle trying to hold him off on the high side. Not sure he can. That rubber going to power on through. Miller takes advantage as well. Oh, and Castle's loose right in front of Miller. Miller has to check up, and good on him for checking up.
Yeah, now that's good driving right there. Austin could have pressed the issue, and he didn't, and they're all still racing. That's great driving.
It is, and that's, Miller now a vet here. Oh, no! Castle into the wall. Gets a little piece of Miller. Hanna gets it. Adam Cole gets a little piece of it. Purnell down to the inside wall slightly. So King, under the pressure, he cracks. Let's get a look in on it. Not sure my call's accurate, but we're going to find out. King in the camouflage looking vehicle and just drives up into the wall, trying for a little too much, trying to hold off the likes of Miller. And boy, oh boy, the 48 and 33 get big pieces. That's Lester and Perry. They get big shots there.
Yeah, it looks like Alonso just got a little loose there, had a little twitch of the wheel, and he's in the wall, and he's collected some other drivers. And that happens as these tires wear on. So tough break for Alonso. He's going to get it fixed, and he'll be back. So just past halfway here, lap 53 of 100 at the Diamondback Travel Services 100 from Phoenix International Raceway. I'm Baron Labosco with Dean Doucette. Dean, halfway season on a new season, halfway on the first race. Is it too early to pick a winner?
Well, it is, because they're all coming on pit road right now, Baron. I don't know how this is going to shuffle out. I mean, Pines, Termeyer, Castle, Purnell, all on pit road, a few others as well. So interesting here. They obviously couldn't make it. They didn't pit last time when Miller and Cole and them did, but now it's Miller followed by Brian and Adam Cole, Chris Shannon and Walker Cole. So I don't know, but I mean, for me, Baron, being the old timer that I am, I go with the father, even though he may not be the oldest guy here, Brian Cole. I'm not betting against him. He is in second right now, but the way he manages his tires, his long run ability, I like Brian Cole here.
Mano a mano here against Austin Miller. Brian Cole is a great option here, Dean, but I'm going to go with the obvious choice here. We just selected our fantasy leagues, and you got to go with the #1 draft pick, and that's going to be Austin Miller for me. He's been week in and week out fast every week. If he stays out of trouble, he wins races, and won 4 of them last year, Dean. So count the 42 right here for me.
Yeah, man, Austin Miller, tough to beat. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with picking a few of these guys. Shannon has worked his way back up after his disaster, so watch out for him. I don't think he'll make the same mistake twice. Lots of contenders. Walker Cole, Andrew Perry's up 14 spots. Kennedy now shown in 7th position, so don't sleep on Kennedy either.
Yeah, and he's still working with some damage on that car. So as he gets that damage fixed, that car gets faster. Look at the 3 car all the way up there. 7th place.
7th place. 8th goes to Stephen M., Jeff Taylor, and David Clamon. A couple of our newcomers are in row number 5. So lots going on up here. We're about to go green flag racing one more time. Miller and Brian Cole out front. Adam Cole, Chris Shannon in row number 2. Down and away they go. Miller with a nice job. Brian looked like he stumbled getting through the gears a little bit there. That's going to allow Adam Cole to the low side, and he's going to try and drive right by Brian.
Yep, Cole on Kroll Crime. So now we've got the 10 car passing the 83, and he's bringing Chris Shannon with him. So Brian making a highline pass, and he's bringing some friends with him. And the 83 car falls back, put the 83 here back in.
Yellow is out. And we got a big pile up back here. Stephen M., Marvin Termeyer. That's the 48 in there. The one car involved, that's Ryan Castle.
Yep.
Oh, it's Fred Lester. My bad, Fred. And Fred getting a piece of that. Let's
Looks
get
like-
a look in on it.
Looks like Bruce Pearson got a piece of it as well somehow. There's somebody we hadn't talked about
So
much.
you see
today.
the 48 here, the King Jr. in front of him making moves. There's Hannah coming on the screen. Oh, up ahead, contact. Stephen M. Let's back this up a bit and get to a little better perspective here. The 94 is going to come in here, and there's going to be an issue.
So Alan
That's
Rowell.
Alan Rowell coming in, and I don't know if he wasn't given enough room or he got into him. Hard to tell, but the 32's in there as well. Lots of guys getting some damage out of that one.
That's unfortunate. Rowell normally a very clean driver, so he'll get a regroup and he'll be good to go here.
So lap 58. A lot of damage out there amongst these guys from that wreck. But Miller, Cole, Shannon, Adam Cole, Andrew Perry now up 15 spots. Let's take a moment to talk about Andrew Perry.
Love that paint scheme in that 33. Love it.
Well, Harry Gant, a couple other guys ran that one. Love the Bandit.
Yep. Solid car, solid paint scheme. Andrew Perry running it week in and week out now. 5th place with that car.
Yeah, and he, Andrew's been, now a vet here, and he's shown what it takes now to race in this league, and he's showing it here. Up 15 spots. Looks like a pretty clean race car there, so Perry doing a really nice job.
Well, Colin Kennedy's still in this thing. He is in 7th place. That car keeps getting a little bit cleaner, a little bit brighter. He's fixing it, and it looks like he's got some speed back in it, Dean. So let's see if we can turn this into a nice finish after such a disastrous start.
If they can make a boat out of tape, then he can get that car back up to par.
Absolutely. So we're in good shape there. Looks like the pace car's got him re-wrecked, Dean.
Yes, sir. Brian Cole, Austin Miller, Adam Cole, Chris Shannon, Walker Cole, and Andrew Perry. Here we go one more time in the Diamondback Travel Services 100.
Green, green, green.
Another good launch by Miller. Gets clear of Walker Cole. Shannon looking to assert himself here as he gets underneath Adam Cole, but Adam driving hard on the high side. Gonna make him fight for it here.
Yeah, Adam been on the bottom most of the time. Paid the price on the last run, so let's see if he can make something with this high side.
Oh, and the 17 of Kamen down the track into Rowell, I think.
Oh,
Or that's the 48 of Lester.
that car's all tore up.
Yes, sir, as it's starting to get a little heated out here. Take another look in on it. Here's David Clammon in the 17 on the high side. Just a little check up there. He's seen the 33 and he tried to make a little bit of an avoidance. Couldn't hang on to it, up into the wall. That collects Lester. The 22 also getting a piece of it. That's Bruce Pearson in, I think, a new paint job this season for Pearson.
Yeah, normally in that bright green machine, the 22, I think he's running a white car now, isn't he?
Looks like it's a black with some powder blue or something to that effect.
Okie doke. All right. New look.
Alan Rowell comes in for a pit stop here. He's going to have Pearson and Lester follow him in, along with David Clammon in the 17, who's quite beat up there, Baron. It's Starting to look like a modified.
Tore up that man's race car is what he did.
Absolutely.
So the Texas driver on pit row and brand new newcomer to this Furniture Mart Super Series. We'll see a lot more out of him as the season goes on. But we got a free pass coming, and that's in the form of Stephen M. So Stephen gets himself back on the lead lap and in contention of this thing.
Yeah, good for him. Stephen was having a good race earlier on. Got caught up in a couple of wrecks there, at least one. He'll get back on the lead lap and hopefully get himself a good showing here this evening. As we know, with 38 to go, nothing's set in stone in these super lates. Baron, anything can happen, and usually does.
No doubt about it, Dean. We know what we can expect up front, though. It's Austin Miller, Brian Cole, Chris Shannon, Adam Cole, Walker Cole, lots of Coles. Andrew Perry going to make it up a spot up there, too. So I'm looking on the chat room now. Shout out to Mason. Mason says Kennedy's on his comeback, so Colin Kennedy fan here. Colin's going to make his way back here, and if he does it with a damaged race car, by God, we'll give him the Good Hands Driver Award.
Well, he's already done great to get up here into 7th. If he could pick up a top 5 out of this, I guarantee he'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, he sure would, and I think we'd be ecstatic for him after the disaster the start of the race was for him. So, but don't count him out. That's a race winner right there. So lap 63 of 100, he's in a pretty good spot right now, top 7.
Hey, we're not counting him out, but me and you went out on a limb here, and you took the car in first. I took the car in second. They're still in first and second, so our picks are pretty good. But I gotta say, we're not really reaching too hard, are we, Baron?
No. We were going after the low-hanging fruit right there. So, it doesn't take Nostradamus to figure out that Austin Miller and Brian Cole are going to be in the mix week in and week out.
Absolutely. Chris Shannon sitting in 3rd, Walker Cole 4th, Adam Cole 5th, and then it's Perry and Kennedy and all the rest. So it's heating up here, and these guys got to make a move. And this is when it comes down. If you think you're only going to get a couple lap run, you're thinking, well, maybe I got to go a little bit faster here.
Yeah, you sure do. And kind of funny to mention here, we got an in-race report from David Clayman who just typed out, ouch, that hurt.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt David, and we're sorry about what happened there. It looked like he was trying to avoid a little bit of something in front of him, and just the car got away from him. It happens. Cole and Miller ready to slug it out one more time. Shannon, Adam Cole looking to sneak in and maybe take this thing away.
We'll get her fixed, Dave, and get it back out there and get some laps in, my friend. Green flag under here at lap 64, 65 and 100. I'm going to go over here and check my tone.
So Brian Cole slips into 2nd. Shannon trying to make a move on Adam Cole. Shannon looking really racy here. If I was going to pick someone else, it might be Shannon. He looks like he's got a hot rod under him, Baron.
Yeah, pretty consistent too. He's found his way from the back to the front a few times tonight, and there he is in 3rd.
Walker Cole also going by Adam. Here's Perry and Kennedy now next in line, and I'm not sure if they got fresher rubber or not, but it looks like Adam's fading just a little bit here, perhaps out of his groove that he wanted to be in.
Just a little bit, but look, a lot of racing left to go. Making that card pretty wide, too, as we look in. Oh, and the 3 car just gets close to the 33. Pushes up Fred Taylor a little bit there.
Yeah, battles there. Up front, still looking pretty status quo. Back to this battle. It's Kennedy trying to hold off Jeff Taylor in that 23 newcomer here on the high side. He's going to push on by Kennedy. Purnell looking to fill that hole, and it looks like the high line's starting to rock here. Purnell and Hines looking to get by Kennedy. Oh, a little check up there. Hines up the track he goes.
And Hines is having a bit of a night. Like, he was up there in first place holding it down, and now he's mired back in traffic dealing with all the other contenders. So Barry's got his hands full in that A car.
I think Barry's good as long as he can run his line. He gets off that line, and it just doesn't look quite the same for him. Up front, those 4 still battling. Let's get a look in on it. Miller, Brian Cole, Chris Shannon, And Walker Cole, nose to tail now, anybody's game. We're coming down to 30 to go here in one more lap.
Yeah, and I think we see who's going to be in the mix here right now. 4 cars under a blanket. 2 of them Coles, 1 Miller, and a Shannon. So we'll see what we got as we tick these laps down. But it looks like those top 4 really got something figured out.
Definitely does. Alonzo King making moves. Back here you got Taylor and Purnell slugging it out. Both of them wiggling off the corner, Baron.
Well, you drive from your right foot as much as you drive from the steering wheel in these cars. So these guys certainly got their hands full as those tires wear out.
Absolutely. Back up front, status quo. These guys, you know, we've seen this from Brian Cole. We've seen him do it in the season finale against his son. He stayed there for 100 laps on his bumper, Baron.
Yeah, he sure did, and he made his son pay the price every lap, so just pestering him the whole way around. A little payback from when the young son was a toddler.
The terrible twos, they call them, isn't it?
I believe they did. I don't have kids.
Well, that's a shame, Baron. I'm sure you'd be highly entertaining father. Walker Cole into Chris Shannon. Shannon up into the wall. Wow.
Walker Cole trying to fight for real estate. He gets into the 32 in the wall, and you can almost hear the steam coming out.
Yeah, Shannon not going to be happy there. They were racing real clean there, and all of a sudden Walker dives it in here, gets just a little bit here on the inside of him, comes off the corner, and bam, there it is. Not sure if he was given the room or not, but pretty much his responsibility to stay off him there, I think. Baron, hard to call.
Yeah, racing deal from behind the wheel is different from up here in the booth, so we'll just go ahead and let everybody else figure out what they want to figure out on that one.
Yeah, whatever I say, folks, disregard, because I often don't know what I'm talking about. And quite frankly, like you said, behind the wheel is a different animal than in the booth, and things are seen differently.
Yeah, well, throw my name in the hat, because, you know, sometimes I'll see something from the booth, and I go, wait a second, I'd have done the same thing from behind the wheel.
Right. Oh, yeah. I love second-guessing people up here. It makes it a lot easier. But Walker coming in, this is a disaster for him. He's got some damage there on the left front of that vehicle. Shannon in as well. So those two are going to be paired together again. You got Termeyer in here along with Lester. As Termeyer comes off first by the looks of it. Lester second. It's Castle coming out. Walker Cole finally limping that machine out of there. And that thing, it looks like the front end might be up in the air a little bit, Baron.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's got some extra cooling there on that left front tire. So we'll see if that helps or hurt him on the long run there. But that car definitely in need of some body work.
Jeff Taylor coming out as well, and you got Chris Shannon making his way off of pit road. So some fast cars there damaged, but you know, this allows other opportunities. Guys like we were talking about earlier, Kennedy now in 5th, and he would be happy with a top 5. Now he's thinking, maybe I'd be happy with a top 3.
And I think I'd be happy with that too.
There's a lot. The happiness keeps moving. It's never obtainable, Baron, unless you win.
Well, if you're up 17 spots and you plant that thing on the podium, Andrew Perry, hats off to you. That's a good start to your season.
Yeah, Andrew Perry, biggest mover here with that 17 spots. Barry Hines, 12 spots up. You got Purnell, he's up 9. Hannah having a nice debut here in the 45, riding that Mr. Automotive Napa machine, looking sharp. Hannah up 6. Alan Rowell, a nice night for him, up 8. And then it's Stephen M up a couple of spots and recovering from a couple incidents here. So, you know, I don't think any of them to do with him, but he's had his struggles here, and sometimes in these super lates, I mean, it's the luck of the draw out here, Baron.
Oh, it sure is, and it depends on who you're racing around. I find it interesting. We got a battle of the car parts. We got a Napa machine. We got an AutoZone machine. We need a couple of beer wagons out here, Dean.
The beer wagon parks himself permanently by the booth here, Baron, so
I'm a fan.
here we go. Miller and Cole.
Out there.
What was that?
Get a couple of bourbon machines out there. We'll be all right.
Oh, bourbon. You gonna start dipping your cigar in there?
I'll do whatever. I'll drink it probably, though. Get a Jack Daniels or a Jim Beam machine out there, a Crown Royal. I'll be happy to see any of that stuff.
Well, one of these nights we'll do a drunk broadcast for the crew, and we'll see how that goes.
It'll go.
Miller and Cole up front. Cole and Perry in row 2. That's Brian Cole in second. Adam Cole in fourth.
Green, green, green.
And Miller, late start this time. That gives Brian a better start. Perry making a move under Adam Cole. So Adam, again, not the best of starts. Trying to hold that outside lane. Can't quite do it. Perry to third. Oh, no! Adam Cole wrecking. Big wreck. Taking out many cars. There goes Chermeyer and Hanna into it as well.
I gotta believe Mark Hanna's been in every wreck there is tonight.
Hanna's been unlucky for sure. I thought he did most of these guys did a good job here of not really getting overly involved in this. Let's see what we can see. So you see Adam Cole here trying to hang on that outside line, and he just drives it up into the wall. King into him. Kennedy gets a little piece. There you see Hanna sliding through. Chermeyer trying to avoid it all. Walker gets through. And not a whole lot of heavy damage to these guys, but that's unfortunate for Adam Cole.
Yeah, it really is. And he was up against that wall riding it on 2 wheels, so not exactly the kit car or the General Lee here. That was the 83.
Absolutely. You see the field here. See pit road, get our box up. Looks like David Clanman, he's been on the pit road for quite some time, so doesn't look like we're having any takers.
Yeah, it looks like David is on the hook tonight, so he said he's going to join us next week. Also, NC Bullfrog said he's going to have to talk to the grandson about his latest moves. So I'm guessing there's a Cole relationship there at some point, so
oh boy,
any Cole will do, and it looks like Big Daddy has said something about somebody's driving out here, so we'll see if we can't get him straightened out there. NC Bulldog, good to have you on board there, buddy.
Yeah, definitely good to have you aboard. We might have just found the leader of this Cole clan here, and I got a feeling from what I know of the Coles already, I don't think you want the leader coming down on you, man.
No, probably not. I'd like to see NC Bullfrog right on my good side. So will be interesting to see how it plays out next week.
Mostly it will be very interesting. There's still a Cole or two up here, though. We got Austin Miller leading this thing. Brian Cole in second. Perry. Kennedy picks up another spot now in the top 4. He keeps moving forward. King makes his way to 5th. It's Hines 6th. Purnell, and both these guys, all 3 with Alan Roel, are making big moves here, up over 10 spots each. Marvin Termeyer hanging in at 9th. Castle 10th. Shannon fighting back to 11th now. Jeff Taylor, Walker Cole, Stephen M. Lester, Mark Hanna coming around, and Adam Cole. So interesting here. This has really shook up the field. Gonna be sweet. Go ahead.
Interesting that the 80 of Alonzo King has recovered, and he is in the top 5 again. So newcomer to the league, showing some great speed. Alonzo finds himself in the top 5, battling with some of these drivers. Let's see if we can keep his nose clean and get him up front here. It'd be nice to see a newcomer start rattling the cages of some of these vets.
Yeah, well, speaking of vets, he's an old U.S. Navy submarine veteran and trying not to get underwater here in race number 1, Baron.
So good to know, Alonzo. Welcome to the show, my friend. Looks like the pace car's got everybody racked up again. 21 laps to go in this Diamondback Travel Services 100 at Phoenix.
20 to go. Anything can happen here. Could we go green the rest of the way? If not, who's going to be taken out? Miller and Cole, Kennedy and Perry trying to settle this thing. temperature rising here at Phoenix Raceway. Pace car off. Cole holds them and holds them. Miller takes off. I guess it was Miller holding them. My mistake. Cole takes off. Miller into second. Kennedy on the high side trying to take third away from Perry. Perry with a deep drive on the bottom but can't get off the corner. They're both kind of stuck. Side by side they go.
And look for the 3-car here. He's done this time and time again. He's gone to the high side and he's got no choice in the matter. But if he gets clear of that 33, I think we got something here.
And they are riding so close. What about King sitting in 5th trying to pick them both off here?
And it looks like that's going to happen as the 33 will clear the 3-car. Not exactly, not yet. Here comes Colin Kennedy back again.
Kennedy not giving anything up. I love it. Lots of fight in that machine. Up front, Miller holding off Cole still. These two battling heavily for this win. Cole's time of riding behind someone coming to an end. He can't just stalk him anymore, Baron. He's got to make a move.
And notice what we saw out of that turn, Dean. Both of these machines loose. Both of these drivers with their hands full behind that steering wheel. Neither one of them coming out real straight and real clean. That's just superior driving right there.
And speaking of superior driving, Kennedy rocking the high side has held on for dear life, and he takes third. King now moving to the high side. He'll work on Perry and see if he can get it done. Looks like he's gonna. King might be the fastest of them all right now. Hard to tell for certain, but he is moving forward, and here comes Barry Hines.
Barry Hines right there behind him. And it looks like what has happened is Alonso's caught to Colin Kennedy right real quick. So now Colin under pressure just after he spent lap after lap side by side. A lot of great racing happening here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Absolutely. Those guys slug. But can they get up here and challenge for the win? I don't know. Miller and Cole walking away a little bit. Miller is starting to separate himself. And you've seen it so many times out of Miller. Let's go to an onboard view here, Baron, and see what Miller's up to.
So quick hands here inside the 42 is what we're looking at. This machine not performing the way he likes it, I suppose, or he's just driving it to its bitter end. But a lot of motion in that little telltale there on the middle of that steering wheel.
Actually don't look too bad compared to some. Let's take a look in on Brian Cole behind him and just see it. You see Brian's so calm on the wheel, Baron. You can immediately see a difference.
Yeah, that is just smooth driving, and that's just me doing the best thing I can right now for my machine, and that's taking care of tires.
So Brian Cole, 14 to go here, stalking Austin Miller. We know he's taking care of his stuff, but he's running out of time to make a move. Where do you make a move, Baron? Do you try and put it on the high side and maybe lock him down to that low end off the corner?
You know, if you're Brian, you've got it figured out by now. He's no stranger to racing around Austin, so I'm sure he's got something figured out. Austin, we know Austin hangs that right rear out. We've seen him roll the center with it. Maybe Brian can find a passing opportunity on entry.
See Walker back here fighting with Barry Hines as these two are locked in on it. Got to get back up front, though, and see what's going on. 13 to go. Miller leading, Cole chasing.
This battle really heating up with 12 to go. Brian is not going to go away, and Austin's not going to let him get there. So lap traffic coming up. Let's see if this plays a role.
Well, it most certainly will play some sort of role. The question is, how do you capitalize it? I'm sure Brian Cole making those calculations. Oh, and that car comes off the track. That's a 23. And he's going to bring out a caution, just trying to stay out of the way, Baron, I believe.
That's unfortunate. As he was just trying to get out of the way of the leaders and brought the yellow out inadvertently. So we saw what you were trying to do, bud. It was the right thing. Just iRacing caught you in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, let's get a look in on it. I mean, we've pretty much seen it there, but I think he was definitely trying to come down the track here. Maybe not, though. He might have just lost it. Hard to say. Thankfully, the leader's not involved in that one, though.
No, that car was absolutely sideways in front of the leader. We're lucky.
Definitely lucky. So, shootout time. It's Miller, Cole, and Kennedy with King and Perry 4th and 5th.
And who doesn't love a good late model shootout? We're going to see some great driving right now, and we'll see if Brian or Colin can make the pass on the 42.
So intriguing here, Baron. As these cautions come out, you know, you're sitting in the car, you're getting amped up at new opportunities or trying to protect the things you've already earned or think you've earned. It's the heart rate goes up, the pressure goes up. This is where mistakes can be made. Seasons can be made or lost in these moments.
They sure can, and that's why God created whiskey. So we've got
That
drivers.
can't be the answer for everything, Baron.
Well, it's a go-to for this guy. So, yes, seasons can be won and lost. We saw the championship settled by 6 points last season. So we've got an opportunity here. Every lap counts.
Every lap counts, and you know, you shout out to Alonzo King sitting here in 4th, doing a heck of a job in his debut. So not easy to be up here amongst these guys sitting in 4th. We're in a couple other rookies here. Well, Ryman Castle, you know, he's recovered into 14th, a little beat up here, but I don't think it's quite his night. Hannah on his debut got caught up in a couple wrecks. I haven't seen him do anything wrong out there, just a little unlucky for the 45, Baron.
Yeah, it looks like he's been in the wrong place at the right time with every one of these incidents. So 45 straightened out, and he's got a car. So let's see how he can handle himself moving forward.
Purnell back here in 6th. He's carrying 11 spots on the night. So Austin always got speed. Let's see what he can take or get here late in this race. And I said use the word take prior to a Freudian slip there, Baron, because with 9 to go, it's take.
Yeah, and I like that you said Freudian properly in a sentence too. So you're using school words in this booth, Dean. I'm gonna need you to calm that down.
I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. A lot of opportunity here. Take, give, whatever it is. But with 8 laps to go, you make whatever you can work.
Absolutely. And we got a little side bet here, and he's got Miller, I've got Cole, Brian that is, but we're not rooting for anybody in particular. We got them all. We like what we've seen out of all these guys. We just hope for a clean finish here. 8 to go.
So yeah, Brian Colt warming his tires up. Interesting. He's getting some heat in them to scrub the new and the dirt off the cars. And Austin Miller's like, I'll just drive it the way it is.
It don't matter. You know, you want to lay down some rubber chunks, that's fine. I'll eat those up. The 42 can drive anything. We've seen that. Pace car off. Miller leads him down one more time. And he really held it there. Cole spins him. King has to make a maneuver, and they're wrecking.
Oh, Lord, what a mess.
Big mess back here.
Got the big one in Phoenix.
That was, unfortunately, Brian Cole there got a little bit loose trying to get through those gears. Let's get a look in on it.
Yeah, it looks like the tire spin is what killed the outside line, and that was it. They started banging.
You see, the 43. You get another look at it here. There, they jumped the camera around a little bit. So you'll see Cole at the outside in row 1, just kind of spin him. The King on the second on the outside will try to make a little evasive maneuver, but unfortunately for him, Colin Kennedy's right there. And there they go. Both of them, well, Kennedy survives. He goes up the track, King does, and collects, it looks like Barry Hines and a couple others pretty badly there. Well, we talked about it. The heart rate's up, the pressure's up. It's where it's won and lost. And unfortunately for King, as we give him lots of praise there, he didn't do anything too overtly wrong just a little bobble in front of him, which, quickly was corrected from Brian, but it was enough to cause some of this reactionary stuff to happen.
Yeah, it sure is. And let's see if we can get a word with Brian Cole. He's outside in the first row. We got Brian with us. Hey, Brian, it's Barron in the booth. You got my ears on, buddy?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Sure can, man. So we're going to re-rack them again, and we're going to see if we can get you all into victory lane. What are you going to have to do to get around that 42 car?
I probably need about a 25-lap green flag run, but they've been few and far between this race. He gets such a good launch on the restarts. I'm just going to try to get to his bumper and make him make a mistake. That's probably about the only way I'm going to win this race, but I'm going to try my best.
Brian, on that last restart there, seemed like you had a little wobble there. Did that happen, or what happened?
Yeah, I spun the tires just a little bit. I knew I needed to get a good start, but just got a little too aggressive, I guess.
Well, we never see any mistakes out of you, Brian. I'm sure you regroup here, man. Love the Tar Heel paint out there, and Pops or Grandpops or one of them is out there rooting you guys on, maybe ready to curse one of you guys out too.
Yeah, Walker's papa, he's probably watching, so I see Walker's kind of got back up here to fourth, so hopefully we can bring it, both get in the top 5 here.
Well, good luck here, Brian. Good to have you up here again. Let's get at it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, we almost told him I thought there was going to be a restart there, getting a little worried.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, Barrett, I jumped in there. I couldn't resist asking him about those spun tires. I can't remember the last time I've seen a single mistake out of the 10 machine, and that was a very minor one, but, you can tell he's trying everything he can.
Yeah, and when you're making the right foot do the work, you're doing everything right. So spun the tires, and he had to make a move. Just didn't work out for some of his competitors behind him. So it looks like we got Grandpa watching the race. So good to have you, Grandpa, and like what you're seeing out of your boys. So 3 to go. What do you think, Dean?
3 to go. I mean, I stand by my prediction, but it's like he said, he needs 20 laps, 30 laps. This is kind of that's what Brian does. This is not his forte. It is Austin Miller's forte, but anything can happen. Here we go. Going back, green flag racing, 3 to go. Miller leads him down, and he's gone.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah, changed it up that time and got a clean start. Brian's with him. Now Walker's found himself in third. So it's Cole, and Miller right here, and Miller's got his hands full. That's a lot of coal.
And Hines has slipped into fourth. What a night for him and Purnell, who's in fifth. These guys doing a great job, but out front, Miller, 2 to go to get this win in the inaugural race here in the Raid Furniture Mart Super Series. Final lap.
Big time run from the 01 here. Walker Cole really hitting the door, and he's got his nose underneath his dad.
He's trying for bragging rights in the family, but it's Miller coming down into three now. Here he is. He's going to take home this Diamondback Travel Services 100. It's Austin Miller coming out of the corner. Brian pushing for all he's worth, but Miller with the win. Brian and Walker Cole second and third. Purnell beats Hines for fourth and fifth. Stephen M. grabs sixth. Adam Cole, Andrew Perry, Alan Rowell, and Fred Lester round out the top 10.
Yeah, hell of a race. Good race even by our newcomers here. We got Alonzo King in 11th, Mark Hannes 12th. Ryan Castle is in 13th. Colin Kennedy recovers his machine. He's back to 14th. Bruce Pearson. We hadn't talked about Bruce much tonight. Last car in the lead lap, 15th place.
Yeah, some good runs out there, and pretty typical first race of the season in these super lates. Newcomers, you don't really know how each other race. You're going to have a few wrecks, but another highly entertaining event, Baron.
Sure was. Got what I wanted. A little bit of drama, a little bit of family rivalry going on. And we got an Austin Miller win, so I'm going to the pay window with him tonight here on DraftKings. And Dean, let's see if we can get a word with some of these guys here after the break.
Yeah, let's take a short commercial break here. We'll come back. We'll get interviews with a few of our racers, including Mr. Excitement himself, Austin Miller. Welcome back to Phoenix Raceway, where Austin Miller took home this inaugural race, the Diamondback Travel Services 100, and he was awesome here, doing his thing, Baron, rolling those corners, and I think the track really suited Miller tonight.
Yeah, and we see that out of Austin. He's always said he likes the real big tracks. It allows him to roll the center. He gets a lot of more momentum out of his car. So wish we could have him in here, though. I don't see him on the driver lineup.
Yeah, we don't have him currently, but let's start off by bringing in newcomer Alonzo King in here, having himself a race. An unfortunate ending for you, Alonzo, but nonetheless, I thought it was a great showing by you.
Man, it was fun. This is only the second time I've ever been in these cars.
Yeah, they're
These
a blast.
things are a blast.
They really are, Alonso, and it'd be your second time. I mean, you're a hell of a driver. You did very well. Obviously, you know, the cautions come in this series. It's usually when you put a bunch of new guys in these cars at the beginning of the season, it takes a few races to get it sorted out, but you're already there, man. Talk a little bit about racing up front against some of the talent you got up here, you know, Miller, the Coles, some other guys up here they're really tough competition out here.
It was a lot of fun. Like when I got stuck there in, I think it was fifth, it seemed like I was just in a bubble right there. I was 5/10 faster than the guy behind me, but I was 5/10 slower than the guys in front of me, and I was just stuck there for a while. Then we got that caution, and I was like, all right, I got something for these boys now, because I learned if I can diamond 3, I can come off, get a launch down that straightaway. And I was hoping for that, and then, yeah, after that, it was just that one restart. The second place guy, he got loose, and I tried to give him a little bit of room, but when I did, me and the 3 met, and that was pretty much the end of that. But I drove back up to 11th. I'm happy on that restart, so.
Yeah, it was a good job salvaging something out of it there. You know, it was tough, that restart, little spun tire, kind of made you move around a little bit. Unfortunate things happen. But so you say that you're pretty new to the car, Alonso. So what do you normally drive? And did it translate? Was it kind of a good thing for you to be at a Phoenix opposed to a traditional super late model track, a short track, you know, like Lucas Oil or something even smaller?
Well, I grew up running dirt tracks, so I know how to save that right rear. And just feeling the car getting leaned on and stuff. And mostly I've been driving next gen cars on here. So next gen doesn't really relate to these, but I know my dirt late model experience does. And saving that right rear is a big thing, and letting it hang out when you need to and getting the speed out of it. So.
Well, we enjoyed watching you tonight, Alonso. We head next week down to USA. How are you feeling about that track?
Well, you're going to see some drifting. We're going to have some fun there, buddy. So.
You gotta like it, hang it out there, man, and see what you can get. Alonso, great race, man. Sorry about the late race problem, but I can tell you're thrilled and you enjoyed yourself, and that's mostly what it's all about. So congrats on the race and joining this great league here. You got any shout outs? Anybody you want to thank? Now's the time, brother.
Man, I got a shout out to Dark Tempest. That's my race team. Jeff Taylor's in there. Mark Hanna. I really got to give a shout out to Mark Hanna for bringing us in tonight. Shout out to the league. I mean, this was so much fun, dude. I had a blast. And great shout out to you guys, man. I mean, putting it on, putting the broadcast on. Looked like a good broadcast. I had it up while we were racing, so let's do her.
I love it. Baron Alonzo King in his debut. Sounding pretty darn excited there.
Yeah, I love the energy. I love the excitement out of Alonso. It's going to be great to have him week in and week out. Excited to see what he can do for the rest of the season. But I got with me Austin Purnell. And Austin, how was your race tonight? Good to have you in the Wind Tunnel TV booth.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It started off rough, messed up in qualifying at the start. I can't even remember how far back, 17th or something like that. Just kind of just avoided the chaos there. Had a little damage, but was able to salvage for fourth, kind of kicking myself in that last restart, just was sleeping a little bit. So I'll take fourth, though.
Yeah, never text and drive, right, Austin? Yeah, we didn't call your name much tonight because you kept the car relatively clean. So look what happens when we don't find any trouble, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. It's the first time I've ever raced at Phoenix with these cars. I really didn't know what to expect. It almost felt like it was on dirt. We was just sliding through the corner so much, but it was a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun. Austin, we hadn't talked to you much this season. What do you think for next week's USA race?
That's one of my favorite tracks with these cars, so I hope to be able to capitalize on that and then at least podium run would be nice.
So new season, new outlook, fourth place finish tonight. You running for your championship this year?
Probably not. I have other obligations I have to do on Wednesday nights coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll run as much as I can, though.
Good to have you up here. Anybody you want to thank tonight? Fourth place finish. Got any teammates or any sponsors?
I'd like to thank Hyatt's Hood Cleaning and Smoky Days Barbecue in Roxborough, and just Furniture Mart for sponsoring the league. I've known the Coles for a long time personally, so I know they're great people. So I want to thank them for sponsoring the league and for Marvin for letting me run in here.
Well, Austin, great to have you. Good to have you here, finishing fourth place. Dean, Austin Purnell with a fourth place finish here in the inaugural, the first race of this new season.
Yeah, just a great race by Austin, but I got another Austin with me. That's the 42, Mr. Excitement himself, Austin Miller in victory lane. Congrats. What a start to the season, Austin.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Man, I thought I was just going to get a yeah out of you, Austin. I'm not sure if you had a bottle of champagne in your hand, perhaps a glass in your mouth, but congrats, man. It was.
I don't necessarily disagree. I kind of wish we never got into a flow really tonight. So it was kind of one of those things. And then I just kept jumping from inside to outside just to mess with them because I couldn't tell which one was better.
So talk a little bit about the pit stops, Austin. So there was a little bit of strategy going on with these pit stops. First off, one group doesn't pit when you guys do, or vice versa.
No, he didn't run into Brian. Brian got loose. He checked up. He didn't hit Brian.
I'm hearing some other chatter here. Apologies. But hold on one second.
Like I said.
Yep.
Apparently the mute had gone off on the race broadcast as we're listening to Marvin do a little talk. But anyway, back to you, Austin. During these pit stops, like, what were you thinking on it? How did you beat out Cole? Did you beat Cole out? I think Cole was particularly slow on his pit stop.
Yeah, I think we both took 4 tires, just knowing that this is a bigger track where the left sides actually matter. So I think we did the same thing. So I got out ahead of him, but we were behind a decent amount of people. I think we came out like 13th and 14th. So we had a whole crew of cars in front of us.
Man, we watch you a lot, Austin. We watch the way in particular. We talked about it with you many times about how you roll the center of the corner. When you take a track like Phoenix, it's highly important here from my point of view and other vehicles. Did you feel that tonight? Did you feel like this is a type of track like I'm really going to excel at?
Yeah, yeah. This track's outlier compared to what we usually run. It was hot too, so rear tires actually mattered instead of the right front. So it was kind of unique in that front compared to what we're used to. But yeah, it definitely suited my style.
Well, it certainly looked like it, man. I mean, you rack up to another win here. Not sure how many that brings you up to, but quite a few here now, and you're starting to get better and better. Not sure how much more you can continue to ascend here, Austin, but I think you might. We look forward to USA now. What do you think of that track?
Yeah, it's like New Smyrna. It's very similar to that track. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad Brian's back though, to be honest. Just adds a little extra element to it. So I like running with him. Like I said, I wish we could have ran green longer just to see how it would have played out. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will get there, Austin. It's kind of the first of the year. It's kind of how it goes. But hey, man, great race. Congratulations on opening the season with a win. And you got any sponsors, anybody you want to thank? Now's the time.
Yeah, just my mom and dad and my older brother watching. That's all I got. And of course, you guys broadcasting. We appreciate it.
All right, Baron. I love it. Austin Miller, Mr. Excitement in Victory Lane again.
Yeah, congratulations, Austin. Good to see you here again in Victory Lane. First win of the season for Austin. He tallied 4 last year, Dean, so he's off to an early start.
Man, early start for him is scary for everybody else. You got to be wary of the 42 at all times. But, the Cole's right there. What about Walker Cole battling back here, coming in third position after what looked like could be a disaster for him?
Yeah, and what we've noticed too is even with Walker and Brian in the room, Adam Cole stepped up his game. So the Coles are going to be hard to handle as this season moves on. But Austin Miller found a way to victory lane next week at USA. You think we get the same verse, same as the second verse?
Very well could be. Quick look in on the championship standings. Of course, it's just our standings. You can see there right quickly Miller off to an early lead. But you're right. USA next week, Baron. We'll be here. The Raid Furniture Mart Super Series every Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Please come out and check it out. It's a heck of a series, a lot of fun, and we enjoy having you guys around. But until next week, for myself, Dean Doucette, and Mr. Baron Labosco, that's it, and we'll see you right here next time on